G'day, Agent Mahari here again. The topic in this video is, if you've broken up with someone with BPD, or they just like cheated on you or left you, or they don't really break up, do they? Why is it so painful? I mean, I can't put the whole answer or all the answers into one video, but what is one of the central reasons why these breakups are so painful? And or in situations where people might be staying with their children, but there's really no relationship left between them, or they're just can't, they've detached, but they're still there, for their kids. Well, the thing is, no closure. No closure with a person with borderline personality disorder who doesn't seek treatment or a substantial amount of therapy, because it goes back to their original wound of abandonment and their attachment trauma, and the fact that they didn't really ever have secure attachment, and they don't know who they are. And so, as I've talked about in other videos, this sort of the way that there's no closure, it's because, like, repetition compulsions, which I've got a video up about, the repetition compulsions in borderline personality disorder are subconscious, and basically every relationship of any type or form, when people have no treatment, right, is going to rupture. It's going to burst apart in one way or another, and over, maybe sometimes before that final break apart or ending of a relationship. But people with BPD are experiencing many things and triggers and dissociation and emotional dysregulation and regressing to a young age of childhood, where the emotional, not necessarily right where the emotional arrested development happened, but where they kind of got stuck. Because borderline personality disorder, among many things we could say about it, is a failure to launch emotionally. So they don't have a self from which to really attach to others. And then when a relationship, this subconscious, repetition compulsion by which all other relationships will invariably sooner or later have to rupture. In other words, end, split apart in ways that people without BPD can't understand, because they're like, what happened here? I don't know. And then, I think a lot of people are left struggling, that after the breakup, it's like, well, are they going to hoover me? Or like, especially if they walked away, or even, especially when they walk away. And they don't tell you why. And they often just go find someone else, right? That's not a just in your life. It's horrible. Or you found out you were being cheated on for quite a while. And then off they go with the one, if you're a woman with the other guy, if you're a man with the other guy, if you're same sex, you'll understand, right? Same thing if you're same sex. I'm sorry, if you're lesbian or gay, if you're same sex. We're all the same sex to ourselves, aren't we? Like, okay, I don't even do this intentionally, I swear. I'm not trying to be a comedian. So where was I? To get back to the factual, oh yes. So lots of people end up feeling like they somehow did something wrong. And you know what? Many people in relationship, and it's not just significant other relationships, the adult child of a borderline parent, in the 25% of parents where it's, quote, psychology calls it the good enough mother, but a mother that isn't a cluster B mother, a mother that loved and did the best she could, and we're not sure really how to explain that, but that's another video unto itself, which I've talked about too. But the 20%, so if you're one of those mothers out there, and you're a good mother, and you have other kids, and they're fine, but you have this adult child with BPD who's not taking any responsibility. I know it's harder for mothers, and many mothers will never give up on their children, and I'm not here to tell you what you should do. But there needs to be some detachment. That doesn't mean, you can detach with love. If you're, the good one of those 25% of mothers has an adult child BPD. And if you're like I still might be, I don't know if my mother BPD covert narcissist is still here, I assume, I don't know. then I'd still be the adult child, wouldn't I? It's getting ridiculous at my age. But anyway, it's just a way of denoting things. But the thing is, so many people feel, whether they're the adult child, whether it's the parent of an adult child with BPD, who's in the 25% of, really decent mothers, people feel like they've done something wrong, or in a relationship of any type. Won't you often feel like, wow, like, okay, so what could I have done so that, like, this person wouldn't have got mad, rage, give me the silent treatment, the idealizing, the devaluation, the cycles, the get away closer, all that stuff. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong, you might think? Not saying you didn't do anything wrong in your life, nobody's perfect, but to the reason why the borderline just sailed away, probably nothing. In fact, I know a lot of the clients I've worked with over the years, and of course some I'm working with now, I mean, in this situation, they've all been really kind and caring people, and often, yes, codependent, but not the kind of people that will go out of their way to hurt anybody. Usually the kind of people that go out of their way for the borderline while hurting themselves. So really, if you're asking yourself that question right now, or if you did for a long time prior, I just hope people can know it's really not about what you did wrong, because most people are really working hard to explain to the person with BPD, well, there's some of the issues and stuff, which is never like really recommended, but people end up in that space anyway. And so it's really important if you, if you're in a lot of pain right now due to a breakup, or especially when they end it and they take off with someone else, and oh, the grass is always greener over there. Well, no, the grass isn't greener over there. Same thing's going to happen. And a question I get asked a lot by clients when there's been this sort of like the borderline just takes off and that's what ends the relationship, versus when other people end it, it's a whole different kind of situation. But still, people have to work through their own levels of understanding of it, gain more knowledge, understanding about it, BPD that is, and about how to heal and how to recover from this, and how to not pick another person, or not pick, but how not to end up, unknowingly with another person with BPD, and then get your heart involved, or, keep going back to that adult parent. The adult parent. People with BPD untreated who are parents aren't adults. That if you're the adult child, if you keep going back to that parent, expecting somehow something's going to be different. If they don't go to therapy, if they're in denial, if they keep cheating on people because they don't trust people, and they really think, or whatever gets them to this place where they just go off to the next person, right, for whatever reason. Sometimes there's really no sensible reason to that, But so the key thing here in this video, I just want to speak on quickly, was to say that yes, there's a lack of closure, lack of understanding for many people. It is I can't do justice to how painful it is in people's lives. And yet, then people sometimes recontact them back, or if they'll hoover back, but what's really important to know about that is you really deserve to work out your pain today. And it's hard to accept loss, but accepting loss, radically accepting what's happened, getting into a little bit of a healing process for yourself, wherein, like when I work with clients, it also includes working through everything that people want to work through and need to work through after these kind of relationships with borderlines. Also, cluster B proofing and a little bit of self-examination where it's needed to make sure that people understand, if they want to, how they ended up with someone like that. What did they miss? What do they need to know more about so it won't happen again? But these breakups are so painful, and so many people are left asking themselves, what did I do wrong? What could I have done? If only I didn't do this. Maybe if I had done that. Oh, that was really hard to put up with and like abusive, but like maybe I should have just been more patient. Please don't do that to yourself, because again, it only adds your pain. There's really nothing positive or healthy or helpful that isn't painful that can come out of that for you, okay? So if that resonates with you, I hope you'll take care of yourself, especially, and know that it's not something that you did wrong. I mean, like in like 98% of the cases, it's just not. Of people, let me just qualify that, of people who are, you know, really healthy, decent people. Because I just want to say, you know, we need to also acknowledge that some people, but this is what I'm talking about in this video, but some people with BPD get abused by narcissists like anybody else can, okay? But this is not what I'm talking about in this video, but I don't know why I added that in there, okay? So the point is, I don't know why I'm saying okay. The point is anyway, I should have stopped a minute ago. That's the real point. If you are asking yourself after a painful breakup where the borderline left you and cheated on you and or didn't cheat, but you know, isn't coming back, no hope, you can't recontact, they just went no contact and they so far are never coming back and you don't know what's going on and you're still really hurting. But the last thing in the world you need to do is be asking yourself the question, what else could I have done better? What did I do wrong? Because that's just not where the relief, the process, the healing, the grieving, it's not the way forward for you. It's a way to stay stuck. So I hope you think about that. I hope that was helpful.